Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office. It is now Wednesday morning, the 18th day of December 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window of the home weather office this morning, it's foggy. So this is what I was talking about yesterday with that fog deck over the valley. And what usually happens is that day by day, it kind of expands. And with the expansion, it gradually lifts a little bit. So what you'll end up with quite often is down in the middle of the valley, let's say along I-5 or 99, the visibility actually isn't all that bad, but it's a low overcast. But you get up to around 500 feet, 700 feet, 1,000 feet, then you start getting into where the visibility is restricted because now you're into basically the top of the cloud deck, if you will. Oh, and one other thing, I really appreciate the comments from yesterday about explaining inversions in the fog and using SQT diagrams and that sort of thing. I appreciate the positive feedback on that. Part of my past TV experience still kicks in every now and then, thinking it's a little too cringeworthy. And I can't imagine if when I was doing TV, if I'd asked for 5 minutes to talk about inversions and SQT diagrams, that would have gone over all that well. So I appreciate the freedom that this forum has so that I can talk about those things and the feedback that you guys give me that you appreciate, that sort of thing. Let's dive into what's happening first thing this morning. This isn't the greatest satellite image of the fog deck. We have some high clouds going over the top, and then you can just start to see the outline of the fog. It's a bit more extensive than it was yesterday, and it has crept up the hill a little bit more. It's I can't tell exactly where it is, but I think the top of the fog deck is around 1,000 to maybe 1,200 feet, and it will continue to fluctuate around there. Now, what usually happens is that at the top of it, it usually gets scoured away a little bit. So that means that if you are in an area of some dense fog, maybe up around 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet along the west slope, that you'll actually break out into sunshine by the afternoon. But for the valley, especially in areas south of Sacramento, we're likely going to stay overcast all day. It may not be quote unquote foggy. The visibility might be okay, but it will just stay overcast and cool throughout the day. These clouds going by to the north really don't have much in the way of an impact. There isn't anything in the way of rain here. And there isn't enough here to mix up the atmosphere all that much. You're just going to notice some of these high clouds over the areas in Plumas County and Lassen County, as well as up on the north coast. But those are just some high, thin clouds. And as the sun comes up, you can start to see some of the beautiful snow cover in the Sierra. Man, it's really nice to have all this snow in the mountains. As we head toward the Christmas holiday, the ski resorts must be smiling. And there's more to come. All right, let's get into the 500 millibar chart here and show you what's going to happen. So here's that little wave that's going by today that I showed you on the satellite, replaced by another big ridge, and that will keep the fog pattern going as we get into Thursday and into the day on Friday. Things will change on Saturday. Now, it's tough to say what's going to happen to that fog deck because what often happens is if there isn't enough wind with one of these passing systems, you can still have one of these go by and the fog sticks around. But we are going to see some rain on Saturday. I'll show you the timing and what we're expecting from that here in just a second. But that goes by Saturday. Still looks as though there's going to be a little bit of a break on Sunday, maybe Sunday morning. But by Sunday night, maybe late Sunday night, and especially into Monday, Tuesday, comes this system here. This is going to be some pretty good rain, especially from the Bay Area and Tahoe to the north. Again, I'll show you all this in just a second, but that goes by. Right now, it looks as though Christmas Day is okay. And then beyond that, however, we have this more or less zonal pattern that will also tap into some nice moisture, a little bit of an atmospheric river sort of pattern. And that should be around next Thursday for the potential for parts of the state to see some heavy rain. So let's see. Now let's go to this first. Let's go to the precipitable water first to show you how all of that's going to move along. So here's that moisture going by to our north during the day today. And then all the best moisture stays off the coast. This is into the day on Thursday. So that's why in California, Nevada, and throughout the West, we are dry on Thursday as well as into the day on Friday. This first wave of moisture goes by Saturday. This is the one Saturday that I'll show you more of in just a second. A little bit of a break on Sunday, but by Sunday night, Monday, we have more moisture coming our way. And then here's the wave that goes by on Tuesday. And then here's the atmospheric river pattern on Thursday. So you can just see this kind of fire hose sort of pattern. And when you match up this with this, so we have this pattern coming across the Pacific. So again, here's California right here. So here's the wind direction at around 18,000 feet. And these wind barbs indicate that wind is up around 90 knots. So it's a good, strong, steady jet stream. And you combine that with moisture that's being pushed along by that same sort of a pattern. And so that's how you get that fire hose sort of pattern that gives us really good rain getting into Thursday and Friday of next week. But again, it'll be one of those cases where it's for parts of the state. And then beyond that, we get into some dry weather once again. All right, let's get into the specifics of what the morning GFS is showing. I'm just skipping ahead all the way to this is Friday afternoon. So we're still dry on Friday, and Friday probably without any sort of a pressure gradient here. We just don't have anything in the way of enough wind to stir out the fog. And even with this passing system on Saturday, this is Saturday at 10 a.m. This is 1 in the afternoon. A weak system. Doesn't do a lot for us. Probably a couple of tenths of an inch of rain, as well as some snow above 6,000 feet. This is at 4 p.m. and then Sunday more or less dries out. And then, let's see, so this is Sunday night. Yeah, that one doesn't look very impressive. This is Monday. This is actually Monday night. So here comes the more impressive system on Tuesday. This is Tuesday morning. We have rain in the valley, snow level maybe 5,500 feet, something like that. That continues into Tuesday afternoon and then breaks up. This is Christmas morning. This is Christmas afternoon, so a week from today. And then here comes that AR sort of pattern starting to set up on Thursday. But look where it is. We have heavy rain here on the north coast. So Eureka, Crescent City getting all the rain, Mendocino County. Maybe some snow north of Shasta. Perhaps as we get into the Cascades, areas north into Oregon, maybe some nice snow. Keep that in mind if you travel I-5. We may see snow there. That's Thursday morning. And then into Thursday afternoon, that line sinks to the south a little bit. It's nice snow in the Sierra. But again, we're talking more than a week out. That goes by, and then we dry out for a little bit before we get maybe another one in the following weekend. Either way, what we're going to be seeing is a pretty active pattern developing once we get into the day on Saturday. So we're going to see waves of rain come by for at least a week with breaks in between. And some of them will be a little bit more impressive and some of them a little bit weaker. And as I pointed out, with that potential for an AR, atmospheric river, about a week out, as we often see with these atmospheric river sort of patterns, there's going to be a big difference between the haves and have-nots. So while places like Crescent City may see 4 or 5 inches of rain on Thursday, a week from Thursday, week from tomorrow, areas like Sacramento and Stockton will probably see very little rain, or a couple of tenths of an inch of rain, something like that. But again, it depends on where that AR is. If it sinks a little bit farther south, then we get more substantial rain into the Feather River Basin as well as in the American River Basin and points south. So we'll have to see where that goes. But for the next couple of days, we're going to be dealing with this fog in the valley, or low overcast in the valley, and fog into parts of the foothills, variable amounts of visibility as you get into the top of the fog deck. And then we break that pattern as we head into the day on Saturday. And right now, it doesn't look as though Saturday is a big wet day, but at least we are going to see some rain probably into the late morning and early afternoon. But that's something we can fine-tune over the next couple of days so you can make your plans for Saturday, including travel plans up and down the state and through the Sierra. So that's what we'll do over the next couple of days. That's everything I've got for you on this morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.